Hi there. Are you looking for a calm space to find in this turbulent world? Are you looking for more love, more peace, and more abundance in your life? Do you want to wake up each day with greater purpose and feel more fulfilled? If you are, then CSLNJ is the place for you. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Over the past 2 decades, our open and affirming community has created a safe space for all to come and be uplifted. I hope you enjoy watching. And if you like what you see, please visit us at cslnj.org.
Happy month where our theme is in living color. And as you can see, I am living very colorfully this morning. And many of you may remember that this is not the first time that I have served as your host in full makeup. But last time was a little different. And I'm going to talk a bit more about that a little later. But right now, I want to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, where we are an affirming and science of mind community where the vibration of love lifts you, the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and the science of mind teaching empowers you. We believe that heaven and hell are states of consciousness that you experience in this lifetime, and that you are the architect of your life, and that it is never too late to know true happiness. I want to thank our speaker today, Reverend Joel, and our musician Ty, who's about to lead us in our opening chant, as well as our practitioner of the day and our meditation leader, Reverend Neil, who's going to do our opening prayer. So take it away, Ty.
God, see through me. God, heal through me. God, love through me. God, speak through me. God, move through me. God, live through me. I am an instrument, a willing vessel. God, breathe through me. God, feel through me. God, see through me. God, heal through me. God, love through me. God, speak through me. God, move through me. God, live through me. I am an instrument, a willing vessel.
Oh, I am a willing vessel. I am open. I allow. I know that this one creative intelligence is expressing through me right here, right now. Just as has happened every moment previously and will happen in every moment to come. I allow. I surrender. I know that all that comes from source, from this divine intelligence that I call God, is good and very good in every moment. I get out of the way. I allow that expression to come through me from the inside out. I know that from that place that speaks, it comes in and speaks through the place of the I am. This is an expression of the true self from this place, of the true individuality, the true personality, the true expression of each as that willing vessel. I am so grateful for differences. I am so grateful for unique expressions through individuals. I am so grateful to know that, yes, this is in living color. Yes, this is who we are. This wonderfully beautiful, eclectic community of people right here in CSL, North Jersey, and in the greater community. This is a beautiful place to be. This is a safe place to be who I am. I love that. What a freeing feeling. And being that willing vessel allows all of that to happen for this true expression of the divine mind right here, right now, that I can be who I want to be, as can everybody else. I love being in that place of knowing. And from that place, from that safe feeling, from that position of gratitude, I surrender these words knowing that they are reaching and supporting and serving not only each of us in this community, but they spread much further than that. And I surrender them into the love and the law, the power and the presence that makes all possible. And so it is.
I fully embrace the full spectrum of my human experience. I love who I am, trusting my higher self to guide me in every step. It's never too late to live my authentic life, and it's never too soon to take the first step. I embrace the power of vulnerability and connection. Connecting with spirit is giving me life, and so it is.
And so it is. And that affirmation leads us into wonderfully for today's reading, which is in the Science of Mind and on page 332, entitled Individuality. The higher the sense of truth, the greater will be the realization of the uniqueness of individual character and personality. The real self is God-given and cannot be denied. It is the place where God comes to a point of individualized and personalized expression. I am the light of the world. Individuality means self-choice, volition, conscious mind, that freedom. There could not be a mechanical or an unspontaneous individuality. Individuality must be created in the image of perfection and let alone to make this stupendous discovery for itself. It emerges from the universal. Psychology teaches the personification of this individuality, which is true as far as it goes, but metaphysics, excuse me, but metaphysics universalizes it by unifying it with the whole. There is a universal nature of man inherent within him, which causes the manifestation of the personality, the spirit of God. We have now discovered a unity with the whole on the three sides of life, or from all three modes of expression. We are one with the body of the physical world, one with the creative law of the universe in the mental world, and one with the spirit of God in the conscious world. Individuality. Thank you.
All right. So I've been asked to share a few words today as we celebrate Pride Month. And I think this year it's particularly important that the LGBTQ plus community and our allies speak up a little louder, stand up a little taller, and act a little bolder. We all know lately that there's been an attempt to deny the very existence of the transgender community. Now, many of you who've seen me in person have noticed lately that I've been trying out some different looks with my hair, wearing earrings, and sporting nail polish. Marilyn Truchell even asked me if I was in the process of making a transition. I'm not. I'm not transgender. I very much identify as a male. However, I do enjoy expressing my feminine side in my appearance. In the past, I've only done so on the occasional Halloween, or as I mentioned before, when Donnie Barnes asked me to do it for the Sender a few years ago. But in the past couple of years, I've taken to dressing in feminine clothes and wearing makeup at home. And in the past year or so, I've been brave enough to even do it going out to certain bars and hanging out with certain friends. Part of the reason is in support of the transgender community, standing in solidarity with people who identify with something other than their gender at birth. Another part is on a spiritual level, knowing that the creative process requires a balance of masculine and feminine energy. And this is a reminder of that. And then the third part, as this week's email blast said, is to do what you want to do. Live authentically, out loud, and in color. Love who you are. Which brings me to another topic that I want to bring up. And this is separate from my choice to present myself the way I do, but it is a problem that stems from both the LGBTQ community and the straight community. Out of all of the initials that represent the community, do you know which section happens to make up over 50%? It's not the L's or the G's or the T's. It's the bisexual community. And the problem that I want to address is called bi erasure. It's a stigma that's been imposed upon bisexuals by many people in both the gay and straight communities. Many gays and lesbians will tell bisexuals that they're not gay enough to be part of the community. And many straight people will tell bisexuals, well, you should just accept the fact that you're really gay. Or if a bisexual happens to be in an opposite sex relationship, they may be told, so I guess you're not bisexual anymore. And many gay and straight people have a fear that their bisexual partner can't be monogamous because they can't be fulfilled by one person, or they're going to leave them for the opposite sex, or that they're going to cheat. And this stigma often leads to many bisexuals feeling isolated, depressed, or in some extreme cases, even suicidal. Now, some of you may remember the special event that we held back in 2016 following the shooting at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, in which I said that after being married to a woman, been engaged to another woman, and only have dated women, I never felt the need to tell anyone that I was bisexual. And it was only recently that I realized that that was my own way of practicing bi erasure, denying myself of my own identity. And I've maintained a don't ask, don't tell policy around it with many people. Now, most of my best friends and close family members know, but there's still a small few with whom I've not had the conversation. I still have no idea how to tell my father. But being more open about it is still a little new for me. And just a year ago, I led the bisocial group that I facilitate in the New York City Pride March in full makeup and a really cute outfit. That morning, I dashed out quickly out of the house to my car so the neighbors wouldn't see me. But now I'm comfortable enough that recently I went to my next door neighbor's house barbecue, feeling completely comfortable looking how I wanted to look. And perhaps this year I'll be brave enough to post some pictures from this year's Pride March for all of Facebook land to see, including my dad. Perhaps this year it's too important not to.
Listen, this has been great already. And thank you, Brian, for sharing what you shared. We love you so much. Thank you, Ty, for that song. Never fails to just bring tears to my eyes. And I love too that when Reverend Neil was doing the opening treatment, the words he used to describe our center were things like eclectic, beautiful, and safe. I mean, isn't that it? Shouldn't all spaces, anyway, we know that. but we're that place. And I love that we're that place. And there's no place I'd rather be right now, and no people I'd rather be with than with you all right now. And I'm going to have a Pride talk later this month. So I'm going to put in my 2 cents about all of this, the I am what I am, in, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember, something like that. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I believe you're on the 29th, Joel.
The 29th, thank you. Yeah. So I've got my special Pride Month conversation on that day for all people. Brian mentioned that over 50% are the B in the alphabet. And I think there's also a lot of A's, allies, because, if you are heterosexual, but you support your LGBTQIs in your life, then you're the A. So you're part of the rainbow as well. And I want everybody to feel included. Okay. That out of the way, let's see. I know we're gonna start with a joke. I don't think I did this one. If I did, just pretend I didn't and laugh, because this is all I got today. It is a joke about a husband and wife who are sitting together one night, and out of the blue, the husband says to the wife, "Honey, when I die, I want you to promise me something." And the wife says, "Of course, anything." And he says, "When I die, I want to be buried with all of my money." And she looks at him and she says, "You want me to bury you with all of your money?" And he nods and says, "Yes. I mean, I worked hard for it. I earned it, and I want to take it with me, every single cent, just in case." She blinks a few times and says, "Well, okay. If that's what you want, I promise." Well, fast forward a few months, and sure enough, the husband unexpectedly passes away. And at the funeral, right before they close the casket, the wife walks up to the casket, places a small envelope in the casket, and then walks back to her seat. When she sits down, her best friend leans over and whispers, "Wait, please tell me you didn't actually put all of his money in there." And the wife whispered back to the best friend, "Of course I did. I keep my promises. I wrote him a check." I thought that's funny. Okay. Let's see. Where else am I talking? I had a couple things ahead of time. That's one. The talk I gave recently was using this book, um, Learning to Love Yourself by Tammy Keeves. I've gotten so many emails and text messages from people who said that they love the talk or love the book. And so I thought I might do a 7-week class based on this book. If you're interested, if there's enough people interested, I'm happy to do it with the provisos. It would either be Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, or Monday or Tuesday afternoons at 3. So if you're interested, you can put something in the chat, or you can go to cslnj.com and click on the contact and send a message saying that you want to do it, or if you have my contact information, you can also send me. Okay, I think that's all of my preambles. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. And I want to tell you where this talk came from, and it might surprise you. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this, but are any of you on TikTok? Some of you, maybe anybody? Here's a TikTok, and it's so funny. And it's a cat sitting in front of a printer, okay? And it just goes on like that for like 3 minutes. This cat is standing in front of this this printer, and as the printer prints out, spits out things, the cat just keeps reacting to it. And I loved it so much. It made me laugh. Of course, I forwarded it along to Alan, but here's the reason why I'm bringing it up today, besides the fact that it's funny, is the caption for this says this: does the cat know he has free will and doesn't have to sit there? So he's sitting there. He doesn't have to sit there. He's consistently surprised and frightened by the life in front of him, but he has free will. He doesn't need to stay there. He doesn't need to constantly be surprised and frightened by the life in front of him. And guess what? Neither do we. That's what precipitated this. Shortly after I watched this, I was writing in my morning pages. That's a practice from the Artist's Way, where every morning you write 3 pages in a 8.5 by 11 size journal by hand. You don't type it, you do it by hand. And I was writing in there, and I wrote how happy I was. I was writing about how happy I was that day. And then I wrote in my journal, I wrote, I hope this is I wonder if this is the happiest I'll ever be in my life. And then I stopped myself and I thought, why would I stop myself from thinking that this was the ceiling of happiness that I might experience in my life? Now, I'm not saying that I feel this high all the time. I'm just in that moment. That's what I was feeling, and that's what I was writing, which is what you do. But in my journal, or in my morning pages, I wrote that, and my morning pages, what came out after that was, you can experience more joy every day, or something like that. And then I said, how? And it wrote back and it said, this is what it said, just off the top of my head. It said, practice small medicine daily. And that stopped me. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? I wrote it, but I don't even know what the heck that means. And then I sat there and so I had to really sit with that. And I had to put on, I'm an adjacent medical professional doctor. I say adjacent because my medical degree comes from watching 1,800 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, ER, and most importantly, Diagnosis Murder. And by the way, I'm married to a couch attorney who has his law degree by watching, 30 years of Judge Judy, The Good Fight, and every iteration of Law and Order. So I don't know if you want to take medical or legal advice from us in real life, but anyway, so I had to think about it, and I thought there is this thing that I've heard. I'm not saying that real medical people call it this, but this idea of big medicine versus small medicine. And big medicine are those big changes that you make in your life that you need to it's like a record player where you take the needle and go like this and interrupt it because you need that big change in your life right then. Fast, big change, quitting your job, moving to a new city, breaking up with somebody or whatever it is. That's big medicine. Small medicine is different than that. Small medicine is more on the line of little things that make little differences that add up to big differences over time, like vitamins, for instance. And please, last time I mentioned vitamins, somebody emailed me and said, vitamins are not real and vitamins don't actually work. It's a sham. I don't believe that. I think vitamins actually do work. Otherwise, why would doctors, not, why wouldn't doctors prescribe them for a reason? And I've taken vitamins to balance certain things in my blood, and I've seen actually blood work change from vitamins. So please don't send me any email saying vitamins don't work, because vitamins do. Or the idea of this is that small changes daily can result in big changes in your life, just like vitamins are small medicines. So I explored that idea in my morning pages, and what are small vitamins that actually contribute to my well-being, to my feeling of being beautiful and safe in my own world and happy and joyful and content. So I came up with a couple that I wanted to share with you, and I thought this would be a fun thing to talk about on a Zoom talk in this wonderful month of Pride. And, these are not the only two, and they're not big medicine because you can't talk about big medicine in 15 minutes. These are small things. But if you do these small things, they actually will pay off big in your life, and they have in my life. And the first one is this story that I probably shared in the past, Lord knows. But it comes from years ago. I had bought at a store. This is back in the late 80s. And there used to be this wonderful department store. Raise your hand if you remember it, Lord and Taylor. I loved Lord and Taylor. And then my mother started working for Lord and Taylor for many years, so that made me love it even more. And I always joked with Alan, I've always said that if Alan and I had three sets of twins, they would be Ethan and Alan, Raymore and Flanagan, and Lord and Taylor. So I'm a big fan of Lord and Taylor. It was, to me, it was like the classiest place. It was so wonderful. Anyway, so yeah, so this is the late 80s. I'm really young. I'm working at a job that we got paid monthly. What kind of job pays you monthly? It's so hard. It was so hard. And I had no money, but they had a big sale and they had candles on sale and they had designer candles and they had these beautiful little candles that were in little votives that were regularly priced $25 and then they had been marked down to $17.99, but then they had got put off on the like 80% off table. So I bought every one that they had because suddenly they were speaking my language because I loved Lord and Taylor. I could just never afford anything there. So I bought all of them and I put those candles away and I never used them for years. Fast forward, we move into a house in Maplewood and I unpack these boxes, these candles, and Alan says, "What are you doing with all these packages of candles that you bought like decades ago?" And I said, "Well, I'm saving them because they're really, and I told him the story and why they were important and all this. And he said, "You know what? Today's the day. Today's the day." So I started burning them that day. And it was so awesome. And you know how when somebody who loves you says something and it goes all the way in the most loving, beautiful, but truthful way, that's what that was. So it was so great. The reason I'm bringing it up now is I was just going through some boxes and guess what I found? I found two more of these boxes of these Lord and Taylor candles. And on the back, you can see the Lord and Taylor thing, and they had been then marked down to $17.99 before the 80% off sale. And it says on the back that these were designer candles designed by Michael Coffindaffer Home. And I looked up Michael Coffindaffer this morning, and he's still around. He's now a realtor somewhere. And I also looked up if these were $25 back in 1987, $25 in 1987 is $70 today. So these are $70 candles. Anyway, I was so happy to get it, and it reminded me of this. So I was so happy because it fit right into what I wanted to talk about. And then I was telling this to Alan, and Alan goes, "Well, you know what? My grandmother had this thing in her house. She had this big cedar chest, and she called it the Save for Good chest. Save, S-A-V-E, for good chest. And when anybody would give her something that she loved, that she thought was kind of valuable, and like jewelry, perfume, clothing, even appliances, she said, "Oh, this is going to go right in my Save for Good chest." And you got her something really good when it got into the Save for Good chest. But here's the thing, and you know where this story's going. When his grandmother passed away, all that stuff was still in the Save for Good chest. All the good stuff was still in the Save for Good chest. So why was she saving it? Saving it for what? What do we save things for? And I thought about this more, and I thought this kind of thinking, for me, this kind of thinking is a form of fear. It's a form of lack thinking. There won't be more. I won't be able to. I remember this. I'll better get it now because I won't be able to afford them later. Save it for a special time, or it it won't be as good now as it will be later. Anything like that. It's all a form of fear and lack. And I'm trying to not live my life in fear and lack. I'm trying to live this beautiful, safe, eclectic life that Reverend Neil is talking about. So I want to change. I want to continue to change my belief about that. I don't have the same beliefs that I had in the late 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s or whatever. My beliefs constantly change and evolve, and this is something I want to constantly change and evolve in my life, is I want to enjoy things now. I want to make room for them now. I want to use it for now. I don't want to have a save for good cedar chest. By the way, I'm also a collector. So I'm not saying that you can't save anything. I'm not saying you can't, that things don't become more valuable later. I'm not talking about those things. I'm just talking about life things. I'm talking about the things that the bottle of wine that you've been saving, the thing that's in your food, your freezer, the things that are in your pantry, the clothing that you've been saving, that special perfume you don't wear every day or whatever. Today's the day. And of course, it's not just stuff. I'm talking also about actions like, go to that museum that you've been wanting to go to. Go on that trip that you've been wanting to go. Go visit that friend. Write that note that you've been meaning to do. Go to that restaurant that you've always wanted to go to. Whatever it is that you are waiting for the right day to do, today just might be that day. And if you need anybody to give you permission, because sometimes we feel we need emotional permission to do things. Sometimes I'll say that to Alan, do you give me emotional permission to throw this thing away that somebody gave me? And he's like, yes, you have emotional permission. If you need that, I'm giving you permission right now. Today's the day. What more sacred day can there be than today? Seriously. So today is the day. The second thing is so simple, but stay with me on this. Don't blank out because you say, oh, this is so simple and stupid. Smile more. Okay. Thank you, Ty. That's a great smile. Uh, that's right. There is no other day. Today's the only day. Okay. Smile more. Here's where this comes from. Since the pandemic, we've all been on Zoom more, like we are right now. I'm in Zoom all day, every day, and I have to say I love it because I don't have to leave my house. If I never had to leave my house, I probably wouldn't. I love just being, I just love being here. But I also love going outside the house too. I shouldn't say that. But I love Zoom meetings because I get so much done. And right from this seat right here, I even had a Zoom meeting recently with a very high up person, and I wore a suit jacket, a, a very nice white shirt with a tie, but I didn't stand up because I'm in my gym shorts, the shorts I would wear to go to a gym. And I thought, how funny is this? Anyway, so I love the Zoom. And I notice though, often in my Zoom talk where we can see ourselves, that often I sit there with a look on my face that makes it look like I'm either, uh, I don't know, angry or serious or whatever. And I thought, oh, this is so funny. So I'm going to start smiling more in my Zoom talks. So I've started smiling more. And it's so funny that just sitting there smiling, and I have a little post-it note that says smile more. So I smile more in the Zoom talks and people notice it. So for instance, I was in a meeting with some people up the ladder in the corporation I work with, and I was smiling. And the person who was talking said, oh, see, Joel likes what I'm saying. He's smiling. Oh my gosh, smiling. Okay, this seemed silly until I mentioned it to Alan. And then Alan said to me, Alan, my spouse, said to me that he goes, oh, well, I use smiling as a practice in my life. I have been with Alan for 26 years. and counting. I think it's going to work out. And I didn't know this about him. I love that you keep knowing more about people, right? And he said, I said, tell me more. And he goes, well, here's the thing. He goes, if I'm going someplace and I don't want to go, like if it's a day I really don't want to go to the gym, he goes to the gym 3 times a week, or if I'm going to meet with some people I don't want to meet with, he goes, what I do is I challenge myself to smile the entire car ride there. And he said, by the time I get there, my mood has shifted. And then he said, and these are his very words, he goes, you cannot feel bad if you smile. Now, I didn't know that. Marcia says, start my internal love engine. Exactly. That's exactly right. It seems so small, and yet something that is such small medicine can cause a big change in mood without prescription drugs. I'm not saying you shouldn't take prescription drugs. I'm saying, isn't it great that in addition to any other thing that you might do to change your mood, that smiling, a free thing you can do 24/7, can also have an effect. If you think I'm just kind of playing this up a little bit, listen to this. There's a TED Talk by a guy named Ron Gutman. And in the TED Talk, which is called The Hidden Power of Smiling, he talks about going to an airport where he observed people who would, they'd get off planes, they were exhausted or whatever, and they smile, would smile at them. And he said a smile from a stranger, him, to them would almost always prompt an automatic smile back, which visibly lifted their mood. And he also said something that there's a study that said that children smile 400 times a day. Adults smile, get this, you can put guesses. In fact, you should put some guesses. Before I tell you, you should put some guesses. How many times a day do you think adults smile in the chat? And then I'll tell you. 10. All right. Oh, come on. 5, 30, 20, 100, 3. I'm going to tell you, according to this study, I didn't do the study, but I read about it, which is adults smile only 20 times a day. 400 versus 20. That's a big difference. Being childlike does not mean being childish. So you can be childlike and go through your day and smile more. Also, smile brings connection and lifts depression. I remember reading about a woman who was struggling with depression and isolation. She was getting help for it. She was going to a therapist, but the therapist suggested that the woman commit to smiling to smile at 5 people every day, consciously, at 5 people every day. And in the story I read, the woman said that it felt very forced to do this, but she began doing it because her therapist told her to do it. And within a few weeks, she began to genuinely feel lighter. And she noticed that people at her work were responding to her more positively. And she began to make friends at her job. Her depression began to ease. She began to feel less isolated. Did the smile solve everything for her? No. But the smile opened the door to create small medicine, big changes in her life. If you need more, there's a study that was called The Influence of Manipulated Facial Expressions on the Stress Response. I did not memorize that. I have it written right here on the screen here in front of me. It was published in Psychological Science in the year 2012. And what they discovered is that people who smile more experience lower heart rates and less stress after stressful experiences just by smiling. There's another study called Smile Intensity in Photographs, and it was published in Psychological Science in the year 2010, where they studied photographs of people who smiled intensely in the photographs to see how long they lived. And what they discovered, this is so random. It's so random, but what they discovered was that baseball players who smiled intensely in photographs lived significantly longer lives, not live longer lives, but significantly longer lives. I thought that was fascinating. And it makes me want to smile significantly in photographs so I have a significantly longer life. And if you need any other expert advice, here's some advice from an expert. Maybe you've heard of her. Her name is Mother Teresa, was Mother Teresa. And what she said was this. She told volunteers that they should give food, shelter, or money to people who need it. But if they can't give those things, or in addition to giving those things, they should give a smile. Because she said smiles affirm the dignity of the person in front of them. And her quote is, "We shall never know all the good that a simple smile can do." Oh my gosh. I have to tell you, on one level, that may sound namby-pamby, but on another level, in the world we live in today, that sounds like the most subversive, radical thing we can do is to smile and give food, shelter, and money to those who need it. Because we want to affirm the dignity of whomever is in front of us. All of us in front of us. So let's take Mother Teresa's advice. Here's what you can do. That's right. It's powerful. Oh, you have a song about it. Smile, though the world seems, smile, though the world seems, or whatever that song is. Okay, so here's how you can put smiling into practice. Start the day by smiling at yourself in the mirror for 20 seconds. It boosts your mood and it sets an intention for the day. And if you smile at the person in the mirror, maybe, just maybe, that person will smile back at you. That's a win in my book. Another thing you can do is Thich Nhat Hanh, the great Buddhist teacher, he said that when you meditate or go for walking, because he advocated walking meditations, he said, put on a half smile. Now, here's a smile, but a half smile, he just means, you know, you've heard of that witching rest face. I'll say witching instead of the other word. You know, make a half smile your witching rest face. But he said, go for a half smile as you meditate or walk, and it will change your meditation or your walk. That's pretty amazing. Here's inspired by that woman who smiled at 5 people every day intentionally. We could do that. Smile intentionally. And then you have passed 20 just in this talk. That's funny. What will you do the rest of the day? I'm going to be sour and dour the rest of the day. I'm going to be angry and upset. Now, and the other thing we can do is smile. And I love this idea so much. And it's something that I really feel strongly about, which is make a conscious decision to be the first one to smile in every room you enter. I just believe that in general as a tool on the spiritual path, which is instead of feeling how other people affect me, I want to go into a room to feel like I can positively affect them. I'm just, I understand that people trigger people and all of that, and I'm triggered sometimes or whatever, but that's victim mentality thinking much of the time. And so I want to be the opposite of that. I want to be the person who sets a chain of smiles or joy or positivity in motion. And so let's be the first person in the room to do that. So if you need big medicine, a big change all at once, do it. Just do it safely, maybe with a professional of some sort or with common sense. So do that. That's not what this talk is about. This talk is about small medicine. If you just need to find more joy every day, take your daily spiritual vitamin, small medicine, and find your ways to joy. Don't seek joy, find it. Find it wherever you are. If we could do these two things, find joy in the things we already have and not put them off till tomorrow, don't have a saving for good chest, and smile more, including at yourself in a mirror. If that just makes you 10% better, 20% better, unbelievable. Prescription drugs don't often do have those kinds of odds. So let's find that. That's amazing, even if you already feel great, by the way. If you already feel good, there's no ceiling on our joy. That's what started me off on this whole thing. You have the ability to do it now. And remember this funny cat on TikTok, you know, this cat who's just constantly surprised and afraid of the things that life is showing him right in front of him. Like this cat, the caption in the thing, TikTok, we have free will. Woohoo! We have free will. We don't have to stay in negative energy. If there are people in our life that are bringing negative energy, we have free will. Move them on out. Let's retithe them to the universe. On you go and bring in the new. If you have negative experiences at work, make plans to begin changing it. You don't have to change it all at once. Make the plans. Anything that you have in your life that will bring that is a ceiling to your joy today, let's remove it and begin to experience more joy today. So, in my doctor adjacent, non-professional opinion, take one small joy-filled action every 4 hours, increase that dosage as necessary, and repeat again tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And in closing, I want to say this. This is my closing. One of these candles from 1987. All right. Today is the day. Today is the day. I'm lighting these candles for all of us. What if the candle doesn't light? There we go. I'm lighting this candle for all of us today, for us to experience more joy. I am what I am. You are what you are. Dolly Parton has this beautiful song called Be Whatever You Are, Be That. Whatever you are, be that. And so I want to see everybody's smiles. See, there you go. Wow, look at those great smiles. You all have really, really good smiles. And some of you who only have your picture up, you don't have your camera on, you have your picture up, you got great smiles on those pictures too. So I'm lighting this candle for all of us so that today we get to be who we are and experience more joy using this small medicine of finding joy in the things we already have, not delaying and smiling. Let's take this in. Oh, right now I just connect us with that great all that there is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, all that there is. Just think of how big that is. It's so much bigger than any thought or boundary or barrier. It's bigger than a religion. It's bigger than anything. It's everything and beyond what we even know. And I connect us each with that and connect myself and just know that that which is so much greater than us is also us and within us. And right now, as we unify with this, within us, oh my gosh, I'm just tearing up just thinking how big and beautiful that is. Be who you are. Whatever you are, be that. Those are spiritual words. Those are powerful words. And in today's world, those are important words. Let's not just make them words. Let's live it today. Let's live our joy. Let's live our joy. So I affirm this and I believe this and I accept this that today we don't delay things. We take whatever we've been saving up for the save for good and know that today is our good and that there is no lack or limitation in the universe and that by using today's good means we open ourselves up for tomorrow's good as well. And by smiling, freely giving it to everyone we meet, that means it's a form of namaste that the divine in me sees, recognizes and connects with the divine in you. That is beautiful. So with this as our compass, oh, and I'm so grateful. I could cry. I'm so grateful. I just released this, knowing it to be true for each one of us who hears these words right here. And with a big smile on my face and all of our face, let's all smilingly say, and so it is.
In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself, I find God, I find myself.
Thank you, Reverend Joel, and thank you, Ty. And Ty, I noticed your pride flag in the background there. I wish I'd noticed it sooner, but you inspired me to go grab my bisexual pride flag. So thank you for that. Right. And now it's time for our abundance blessing and offering, our conscious giving affirmation, which Neil has posted in the chat. So feel free to read along. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift from my heart and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. And of course, there's numerous ways that you can give to the center through Breeze, through mailing a check or whatever. You do it through the website, all the ways that Neil has posted into the chat. All right, so let's see, we have some announcements. Starting tomorrow, is it tomorrow that we're starting, or has this happened already? Well,
You're talking about the immortality class?
yes.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. We got a great group of people. There's like 14 people already and signed up for that class. Some people we don't even know that come from different places, different centers, different experiences, different ages, because everybody's curious. And the goal of that class is to learn to live without fear. And that's
Excellent.
it, right? And I know years ago, way before I was in CSL, way before I was in the process of shifting my life, all of a sudden I said, you know what? I couldn't live until I could die. And once I could die, my life opened up tenfold. And that's the experience I want to have come out of this group, is to lose the fear and be able to live the fullness, the full experience of life by not being in fear. So that's still a chance to sign up for that tomorrow. That's going to be great. And we don't know where it's going to go. We really don't. But
That's the way life goes.
we will be talking about, things like near-death experiences that people have had, so we get a touch on what, things, we talk about what came before, after, during, it's very exciting because it's all about us.
Cool. Very good. Very good. All right. And next Saturday will be our peace concert on June 14th. And this is a great event for us, and because we need to come together as a community for this. So bring your voice and join us in for peace. No politics, just peace and music. And you know when the time to register is? It's now.
Yeah,
So
we need people to register now.
yeah.
This is going to be so much fun. This is going to be such great. It's going to be right there in the sanctuary where we meet all the time. And this is going to be one of these deals where I know that Ray had said to me, Ty, he goes, well, maybe we should put the words on the screen. I go, no, everybody's going to know the words of these songs. You know, these are the peace songs you've been singing for a long time, and they bring that up in you. And it's really going to be we need a lot more people to show up because we need the vibration. This is not a fundraiser. It's not a money maker. This is a break even. Ray is bringing you know, Ty's going to be there, Clive's going to be there, but we're also bringing in some other professional musicians that are going to do this, and they're all volunteering their time because we need peace now. And you know, if our community comes together, we'll raise the vibration. So come, sing, enjoy. They
And to
they're
yeah.
they're they're even me letting walk up there and participate in the song. So you know, that may scare you off, but please come and laugh. So
And to clarify, is that at B'nai Keshet?
it's at B'nai Keshet at 4 o'clock. Doors open at 3:45 next Saturday, June 14th.
Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. This past Monday was the beginning of Reverend Michelle's forgiveness class, but even though it started, that doesn't mean you still can't register. It's your chance to find freedom in your past. So that's at 7 p.m. So there's a link to that as well. And in 2 weeks will be our summer solstice Sunday service. So Celine will be facilitating that along with Beth, Ty, and Clive. And together we will meditate and experience the sounds of drumming, singing, and prose as we welcome summer's arrival. And yeah, I'll be serving as your practitioner of the day that day.
Wow, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up.
We sure do. We're a fun community. We should add that to our opening.
Our people must smile an awful lot, more than
That's
20
right.
times a day, I'm telling you.
We're an open, affirming, and fun science of mind community. So, and if you'd like to keep in better communication with us, more communication, you can sign up for our WhatsApp channel. This is an app that has helped us in a very great way, especially last week, where we can communicate quickly. You know, last week we had a last minute shift for those of you who were a part of that. We're supposed to be in person. We could not be in person. So everyone who was on WhatsApp knew right away, stay home, log on to Zoom. So you can sure to be in the loop by logging on to WhatsApp. And the link, of course, to that is in the chat and in the newsletter. So, and that, I believe, is that. And we're going to conclude once again with the great, the one and only, the wonderful, the fabulous Ty Stevens.
I love your sign. Always bring your own sunshine. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And so we finish today with an affirmation. So start dancing. Oh my God, that's so loud in here. Living in my day to day, knowing there's a better way, but no magic word to say. Then I realize that it is done as I believe, that if I ask, I shall receive, and that there's just one perfect magic word that I will ever need. Yes, 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 it all begins with yes. Yes, 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 and God provides the rest by saying yes. I turn fear into faith. By saying yes, I turn doubt into trust. By saying yes, I turn dark into light. I turn weakness into might. I turn wrong into right. Oh! Now you can just smile in this section. Dance is also good for the soul. So dance, move, move. Everybody, your favorite air guitar right now. Come on. By saying yes, I turn fear into faith. By saying yes, I turn doubt into trust. By saying yes, I turn dark into light. I turn meekness into might. I turn wrong into right. Oh, living in my day to day, knowing there's a better way, but no magic word to say. Then I realize I turn fear into faith. By saying yes, I turn dark into light. By saying yes, I turn dark into light. I turn meekness into might. I turn wrong into right. Oh, yes, yes. It all begins with yes. Yes, yes, yes. It all begins with yes. Yes, yes, yes. It all begins with yes. Yes, yes, yes. And God provides the rest. Yes, yes, yes. You remember that, don't you? Hayadasiwi. Yes, yes, yes. Hayadasiwi, hayadasiwi. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hayadasiwi, hayadasiwi.
At the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, we believe in empowering individuals to discover their inner strength and their connection to divine life. Through our supportive community, transformative workshops, and uplifting services, we provide a safe space for personal growth and spiritual exploration. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper understanding of life's mysteries, our center offers practical tools and timeless wisdom to help you thrive. Join us in creating a more diverse, compassionate, and kind world. Your world, the way you want to create it.